Well, I think that, especially in this past year, I've been extremely involved in the Ohio Student Power Movement. It's involved the Ohio Youth Congress and a few things on campus here. We're an advocacy group who is dedicated to making sure that student interests are always served. I've helped organize protests in that scenario. I've helped lead them. I've spoken at them. And I think that that's shown, one, my ability to organize a large group of people who are not always interested in the same things or are not always on the same level of commitment, and also my ability to sort of rally the troops in that sort of scenario because I was able to successfully speak at those events and things of that sort.
Yeah, at first I think it's important for students to realize that from my perspective, this is priority number one. This is not a hobby. You are actually being paid to be the president of the Student Senate. And as such, you need to make sure that students' qualms, concerns, or questions are truly being answered.
My number one priority as a college student is to attain my degree. While I'm attaining that degree, I'd like to be the best Student Senate president as possible. And as Student Senate president, we are paid. It is technically a paid position, but so are student athletes who are here on full scholarship. And how many times do you hear criticism that they should be students first? So I think those are two good comparisons there that we should all keep in mind.
And so, as a student senate president, what we really need to do is, I don't want to call it a hands-off leadership style, but there does need to be a certain amount of freedom for people to pursue their own projects. You allow them to be creative with a bit of oversight to make sure that no one's like going off track or something like that. But my general philosophy about it is that people want to do a good job at the things they sign up to do, and I want to allow them to do that good job.
So I think as a leader, I would realize, who can I put around me to make this a better campus? Who can I put around me to help me when in a time of need? Who can I put around me to ensure that our priorities are being accounted for? And I think after that, the leader must understand that they are there to make the decisions. So you can't let groupthink get a hold of you too much and put too many minds around you too close to you to allow decisions to be hesitant or to allow decisions to be unclear to student senate or the entire student body.
The only source of knowledge is experience, and I can say that I'm the only one up here, truly, that has the experience that the Senate needs to see going forward.
My first plan to engage the student body is to make sure that our student body is safe. I don't know if you read the post today, but any assaults that take place off campus, the OUPD is not obligated to email out to the student body. I don't know about you guys, I spend just as much time off campus as I do on, so my first thing about getting students involved is just, letting them know that's the first thing I want to take care of.
For Science to truly engage the student body, we have to function effectively. I think it's my job as a vice president to ensure that functionality. So a few things that I would do is first, I want to paint the wall in the back of the Senate office with chalk paint. We have a huge calendar of events. I think sometimes as senators, we don't know what's going on. I think that's really important for us to know exactly what our body's doing. And similarly, I have to update the website every so once in a while. And that's internal business, but as far as external business is concerned, we need to definitely work with any PR sources, any media sources to get our word out there.
I've been part of the student body for the past 3 years. This Senate thing is new for me. I know what students want because that has been my primary role on this campus since I started. I'm in touch with the student body. I'm in a lot of different organizations. I know what students want. I can help out.
I think it's important for us to understand the budget itself, something I think I'm able to do. But I think more importantly, it's trying to streamline it. I'm already in the process of working with Chris Wimsatt, trying to develop a kind of 21st century budget, a more streamlined, effective budget that we'll be able to program better out of, we'll be able to support our initiatives better out of, and be a more effective Senate. I think that kind of goes into the main point of what REACH is standing here for and what I'm here for and what the other two are here for. We want to be a better student Senate. We have the experience and know-how, and I think my ability to do that goes in line with our overall plan. When it comes to Senate funds, thankfully we have rules and procedures that really dive into what needs to be allocated and how it should be allocated. Some things we're constitutionally required to fund. Some great programs like Take Back the Night get a mandatory percentage of a budget. I think more importantly, the question should be how do we ensure SAC is continually doing the amazing job they're doing. You on their platform says they want to keep regulating SAC or increase the regulation. What does that mean? I sit on SAC, I know for a fact that SAC is pretty darn regulated, and the things we're about to put in for next year are going to increase that and allow more opportunities for groups to get the access that they need to funding. That's the important part, making sure we have the ability for students on campus to get the funding they need. And we're going to do that.
out of all the people up here, I'm the best student advocate. I might not have the most Senate experience or something like that, but when it comes to actually advocating for students, when like there are pressing issues and we need to do a lot of work to try to fight those things, I think that I've shown myself to be someone who will do that, and I think I've shown myself to be someone who consistently will do that.
I think we are the best option. And I encourage you to visit our website and see why.
There are 3 areas of the university that are very important to myself as well as our ticket that need that funding to continue. Would definitely have to be, academics is always number one. As anyone would know, that's the main priority why we are here. It's for a degree. If academics isn't properly funded and academic resources aren't properly funded, such as a library, technology that benefits our academics, then we're really at a loss for our degree. Number 2, I would say a big part of this university is athletics, and their funding is important, however much it may be criticized sometimes. But athletics is very important for those people who participate in it, and it may be a reason they're here, as well as it does give us good exposure, for the entire nation. And 3 is programming, student programming, having the university putting on events that the students want to come to, giving them real programs that relate to them, that make them want to be here and not off doing something else.
I think academic quality is to maintain, but that probably goes without saying. The second one is, I think, my second and third picks are where I distinguish myself, especially. I'm not sure what Zach's going to say, or the rest of that part is going to say, but it's from you. And that's going to be one, we need to worry about health and disability services. There are going to be students that come here with very specific needs, and we need to make sure that we can cater those needs, because just because they were born with a disability or some sort of condition doesn't mean that they shouldn't be able to have the full Ohio University experience. And the second thing is, I think we need to focus on access to education, specifically scholarships that are for diversity or for people from like low-income areas, and helping non-traditional students be able to come to this university. And I think my whole idea is that Ohio University should be a place where any student from Ohio can come and have a great education. And we need to make sure that we always maintain like that level of access.
I think REACH has the greatest goals in mind when we want to improve academics here.
I guess the second thing would be student affairs, which includes student programming. I've always said that students come here to get a degree, they come here to graduate, to get a job, but they stay because of those things that are offered.
And an area that has been consistently cut year after year is the diversity centers on campus, OnStar, all these great programs that bring in crucial students to our university, students that we don't have and represent numbers, and yet they get cut every year. I think it's a priority that we need to keep diversity at this campus open year round. Something REACH has stood for is 12-year contracts for all diversity centers. Because at the end of the day, if we don't have the students, if we don't have programs, we don't have that all together, what's the point of coming to this university? It's kind of a big picture type thing.